All right, so first thing you got to do is make sure these the liners are flush to the front on both sides, and then once those are in, you're good. This guy goes like this. This is facing upward, and this shaft goes inside that master cylinder, right inside that boot. It should go in pretty easy, and then you can feel it once it seats inside. You can feel it, and it'll stay there. You can see a video. You can see it here. It'll just stay there and it'll hang. Now gravity's gonna keep it hanging a little downward. And then you get these. You slide these in. Right? It's gonna get a point to where it stops. Okay? So in the back, you see the two shocks? Okay, on top of the shocks, just get your hand carefully, and you're gonna pick up that little handle for that went into the master cylinder, and then you should be able to slide it in. Once it travels that spot, you can see it up here. You see the top part of this in here? It's probably hard to see, but once it goes in there, you can tell that it's all the way seated, because then your shocks should basically line up to this back hole. All right, so you'll have a little space so you can, because it has a spring back on the shaft. So you get your smaller pin, you line it up, throw it in there, and then these will basically level out by themselves after you start using it. So once you get that in there, if this doesn't line up, push it a little bit and it'll line up. And once you got it, you're in. And then these clips, the bent part of the clip goes to the outside. This leg goes to the outside, and the straight shot goes on the inside. You can't put them backwards, I'm pretty sure you want to go one way. So then you got your other two pins here. Pop that guy in there. Pop the other guy here. And then now this guy, this is important. Pop this guy in here, and this little cutout right here has to go right over that bracket that goes on to the master cylinder. There's a picture to show that. So you basically put it straight, you make sure it hooks over, and you can tell it's hooked because you try to push it and you'll feel it binding, which is good. And then you get your locking pin here, and this guy, once you got that in there, you can see it almost lines up with the holes. Goes into that groove. You hold it with one hand. This guy's floating. And then you add this clip on top. If things don't line up smooth and you have to wedge it with tools and stuff like that, then something's wrong. It should go in really easy. And there's a lot of tolerance. Make sure your washers are that part's facing down, so it locks and it bites into that piece. And like I said, there's a lot of slop, so nothing should be binding, everything should be loose, but it shouldn't come apart. And you line everything up the best you can. Okay, just hand tie this. Now you know that's good. You go ahead and get your clips. Same concept with the clips. The straight shaft goes towards the inside of the actuator. Same thing with this guy. And it's pretty simple, you don't even need tools for this. Alright, so you got your back pin in. This is secure. Your breakaway's good. This is pretty lined up. Hand tight. Everything's good. Your breakaway cable on this side. Right through the loop. It has a nylon lock nut on it, so as soon as you get the nylon past it, you don't want to bind it too much. You want it to swivel and be loose, but you want to make sure that that nylon passes the threads, so you know it's not going to come off. And ratchet button.